Hi, this is Jonathan. How you guys doing? Today, I'm going to feature this amp behind me. This is the BlackStar STUDIO 10 6L6. I used to play amps back in the days. I played through a whole lot of amps. Sometimes the clubs that I played in provides the amps, and sometimes I would get amps on my own, and I got a couple amps. I always love amps. I love the way they are. The speakers that they have. And the control panels, the grill. The colors that they have, and especially how it sounds. If I get a good amp, I could spend hours just playing, because it just like how the guitar reacts with the speakers, with the preamp section and the tubes, especially a tube amp, and I really love that sort of feeling. As a musician, we get inspired because of the sound that we're hearing. And if I have a good amp, I can just play for hours and try to, you know, create music. So this amp is a all-2 amp. It has a 6L6 for its output section, and the ECC83 for its preamp section. So it features a 12-inch Celestion British speaker. Sounds pretty nice. Has this beautiful grille, this red kind of maroon grille with the BlackStar logo, and of course the sort of a leather-like covering. You know, this reminds me of the black velvet cake or cupcakes. Have you seen one of those? Yeah. Every time I look at this amp, it makes me crave for one of those. It's real pretty. And of course the handles, you know, they have a very nice retro touch to it. It's a leather-like handle, very sturdy. You know, it's well made. So it's a quality product all around. You know, I can see the workmanship. You know, especially the covering and the grille and the control panel and the back control panel with its own grille behind. This is of course a closed back amplifier. It features a mono emulated speaker output, and that itself is really useful because you can actually record this without using a mic. You can actually record the amp without using a mic, and you can actually have the optional recording for mic as well as with the emulated speaker output, which I will show you later on. This amp has a very simple layout for its control panel. It has a gain, it has a tone, and then a reverb, and then the master, and that's it. And then the power on switch and the standby switch. Real simple. The tone has it really acts like a tone. You know, there's no 3-band EQ or even a presence control. So when you're dialing up the tone to be about 3 or 4 o'clock, you're not going to have just the highs. You also have a boost in the mids. You know, so you're probably going to have like 1 to 2K boost, as well as the 8K, you know, or 10K highs, and just a little bit. So it gives you a more pronounced sound. As you dial it back, of course, it gets darker. This amp, the 6L6, is part of a sort of a series that BlackStar came out with. They have a couple of series. There's this black model which more or less features more of the English kind of amp, like in the Marshalls, you know, the Vox. Whereas the 6L6 are more it's more like the American kind of sound. So, you know, the Fender type of sound, you know, the Bassman, Deluxe. And henceforth, that's why you have a little bit of a brightness to it. But it's not that bad, you know, it's not overly bright. And with the amp having tubes, you know, for its output stage as well as its preamp, you know, it kind of round off everything. And when I'm playing, I can feel how it sounds. It sounds good. It does sound good. It has a natural compression. I ran it clean. You know, this is just guitar in and to the mic, and that's it. You know, there's no effects in anywhere in the loop or in the chain. I didn't use any compressors. I didn't use anything. So because it's a tube amp and because it's well designed, you can actually hear and feel a slight compression, a tube compression, and that's really nice. That's what I look for in a good tube amp. Of course, the reverb and delays comes post. You know, I was using the reverb and delays from the Helix. You know, just that. You know. easy to control, easy to get a sound that you want, not overly complicated. And of course, there is this overdrive or drive switch, which can be activated by a supplied foot switch or a singular foot switch. The drive has a circuit that is very similar to the BlackStar HT drive pedal, and it's not too far off from the amp sound. Like for example, if you crank the amp gain, the gain of the amp to say, you know, really drastic, like, you know, to all the way to 6 o'clock to 5, without activating the drive, and when you play, you hear that crunch, you know. And when you activate the drive, it's not too far off. You know what the drive does is just add a little bit more gain and kind of boost up the mid, low mids just a little bit, just a round off, you know. And if you have a humbucking guitar, a guitar with humbuckers, you can probably get really nice gain structure, and you can probably have your note sustained. But if you're using a Strat like what I was doing, sometimes you might need a little bit more boost. So what I will do if I have this amp is I'll probably buy a booster, and that's all I need if I want all the distortion sound coming out from this amp, and not having a pedal to it. All I need is probably a booster pedal. That's about it, and I will probably have the note sustain really well. So as a gigging amp, you know, as an amp to be used for a gig or for shows, it's loud enough. You know, this is really loud. This amp is really, really loud. You can crank it up, and I think the police will come knocking at my door in no time. As it is, I had to bring down the master really substantially because I didn't want to disturb my neighbors, and the mic was good enough to pick up little nuances. But I think if I were to just use the gain section of this amp without activating the drive, I would probably have to crank it up just a little more to have the roundness of the sound. Amps are funny that way because at certain volumes it sounds differently. You know, you can't like bring down your master to minimal and expect it to sound good. It doesn't work that way. So that's the one of the characteristic of an amp. And if you're going to record an amp, you know, like what we used to do, like in the studio, you know, you could crank it up to 10 or to 11, a Spinal Tap, you know. Apart from that, the back panel, you have all the output and input for your send and return, the power jack. Because this amp weighs a bit, you know, it's a heft to it. I'm gonna put the weight down for you. Not really expensive, it's quite affordable. I'll also put out the price for you. As a recording amp, I think it's really usable because of the emulated speaker out. Not just because of that, because it records really well. You know, I was just using a tube mic for this. You know, if I were to use like a rabbit mic in conjunction with a SM57, you know, or other mics, I'll probably get a real good sound. What I did was just to stick the tube mic just, you know, in a place where I think is conducive, and just record, and you know, I had a good sound. So it's easy to record, and I can always record the emulated out as well as the mic out, and I can mix them both or pan it hard left, and I have a bi-amp kind of situation going on. What do I think about this amp? I think this amp is worth buying if you're looking for a good amp. If you're looking for a tube amp, a good tube amp. I have the Langley, you know, the Langley works fine for me. But when the Langley does go, this will be the amp that I will look for. This will be my next purchase if my Langley does go. You know, but I still love my Langley. You know, it's small, it's compact, it packs a punch. Yep. So I hope you enjoyed this video about this amplifier, this Studio 10. If you do, give me a thumbs up. And if you want to join this channel, feel free to go ahead. And so until the next video, I'll see you. Ciao.